And thanks to the Right Honourable Member for Elmet and Rothwell for bringing this debate forward. I've been campaigning around the issue of endometriosis ever since my constituent Kate came to me with a condition, and she explained to me the long wait she'd had, the difficulties she'd faced and the pain that she's been suffering. And I just take one moment to congratulate her, because she has just had a baby. After being told that she was possibly infertile, she's just had a little baby, so huge congratulations to her and her family. I'm delighted that it is now actually in the education curriculum and part of the sex and relationships education, because I've met with the Minister for School Standards and he has agreed to include it, so that is great news. But in the short time I've got available, I just want to focus on my list of asks for the Minister. So one of the asks is around people with endometriosis having the statutory support they need and not facing discrimination. So this includes PIP and other disability allowances. So the guidance that's currently around endometriosis and its impact on work should be really clear, so that those assessing an individual's application understand the debilitating impact endometriosis can have on a person's life. Because I'm slightly concerned that people who have a really severe form of endometriosis, when they go for their PIP assessments, are not being taken seriously, and it's not being regarded to the severity of which they're actually suffering. And ensure those with the disease have access to statutory sick pay as well. The current definition and criteria for statutory sick pay fails to recognise long-term conditions like endometriosis, and statutory sick pay is only available to an employee for a linked period of sickness to a maximum of 3 years, which penalises people who have chronic long-term conditions like endometriosis, when the symptom can be felt for life. Those with endometriosis need to be supported through recognition in both guidance to employers and statutory sick pay that chronic conditions may result in intermittent rather than continual symptoms. Again, the guidance doesn't seem to match the particular circumstances of endometriosis. I'd also like to ask the Minister to work with the Minister from the Department of Health to ensure that those with endometriosis have access to the right support at the right time, to time limit the amount of time they need off. Because I don't feel like the NHS has woken up to the scale of endometriosis, and the services don't appear to be planned to support all those who need it. And it needs to be taken seriously and by commissioned services. And my final quick ask as well is that the Department for Health look at supporting the research that's been done at the University of Hull, which is looking at developing biomarkers for the disease of endometriosis to reduce the amount of time it takes to diagnose. They only need seed funding of around £10,000, which would make a huge difference. And there is so much more, but in the time I've got left, I will just stop then, only to echo what so many other members have said. It's time to take women's health seriously. Please work not just with the Department for Education, but the Department for Work and Pensions, the Department for Health, all work together to deliver a difference for so many women who are suffering.
Tricia Gibson.
Thank you, Mr Chair.